Hi everyone, so today we are focusing on Logic Pro X process of opening the software, creating new tracks, saving your projects, and being able to identify the different windows that you use at this present stage. So as we are looking at the startup window, you'll see there are a number of options. There's open recent project, there's also open another project, existing project, create a new project from a template, or create a new empty project. That's what we'll choose. As we get into the session, you're going to see we have a number of different tracks. We have the software instrument track, which is what I'm into right now. And you can see the different instruments that I'm just going through, the different options you have. All right, the AXS24 sampler, Ultra Beat, which is drum machine. You have vintage B3 organ, right, and vintage electric piano. We also have some third-party instruments as well, which we use at the studio. All right. Then we have the audio tracks, which is what we use when it is we're recording vocals or any instrument. All right. So whether it be a guitar, acoustic or live, right, or acoustic or electric, right? It could be a piano. Then we have the drummer track, which allows us to access some of the drummers that are featured in the software. So you could get a rock style drummer, R&B style drummer. Also, there's electric, the external MIDI, which allows you to connect the software to an external device that you may have, and then there's the guitar bass track, right? Which function as well, just like is a combination of the audio track and software instrument features as well. Yeah, for the purposes of this course, we're going to focus on software instrument and audio tracks. All right, and I'm just going to put in the number 4 here. So we'll have 4 software instrument tracks, and we're just going to choose empty channel strip, which will allow us to select which instruments we like to use. All right, I'm leaving it blank for now. So empty channel strip. All right, and we click create. Now in doing so, you're going to see 4 tracks show up on your left-hand side of what we call the arrange area, right? Instrument 1 to 4. All right, you'll see that there. Now, first thing we're going to do is save. So we go File, and then we choose Save. All right, I just want to put in the external hard drive that would allow us to be able to save the project onto the drive. So just let us put in that hard drive. Then you see we're going to save. Nice. So you see LA Records come up there. That's our external drive. And we're just going to go into the LA backup files. And this is LA backup files folder, and then into studio projects. All right. Now this is how we have our projects saved. And we're just going to save it as MPE class tutorial 1. It's going to put in music production, but we do MPAE. All right, that's music production and engineering class tutorial 1. All right, 2024. Okay, now we could save as a package or folder. For the purpose of this course, we're going to save as a folder, and we'll explain the difference as we go along in the course. All right, so back to the arrange area here. All right, and you see the tracks on the side here. Now at the top we have the display area, right, which would normally show you which bar you are at, which beat in the bar you are at. You could also change that to time code. Right, here's the arrange area as mentioned before. Now this is the inspector window. All right, and this feature will allow you to do what we call quantize, and quantize is when it is we actually adjust the beats within a program or what we may have programmed in line with the tempo. This is your transport area that I just pointed there. Right, across here you have your metronome or your click track, you have your counting track, you have your solo option, you also have your cycle option as well. All right, as you take more time and you go through the software, you could acquaint yourself with these different features. All right. Now what we're going to do is name the tracks. All right, so you could see we have instrument 1. We're going to name that as bass. We name instrument 2 as drums, and we name instrument 3 as keys, and then instrument 4 as strings. We're going to pull up the different instruments so that you could see and hear how they work, how they function within the software. And these instruments that we are using are the instruments that are in the software. So we're not using any third-party instruments. These are all stock instruments that came with Logic. All right? Now, let us go to where we could actually pull up these instruments. Now, before we do that, I want to create the audio tracks one time. All right? Now, we could do that by just going to audio track and that pulling up an audio track for us. But I'm going to do that for you to see. And then what we're going to do is actually go to track and choose new track. In there now, we'll be able to select whether it's an audio track, software instrument or so. So you have that option. All right, and you can actually see how it's done. So you go audio track, and then we're going to choose input that we desire. All right, we choose input 1 because we have our interface connected. All right, which is we using the Apollo Twin. All right, you're going to choose 4 audio tracks as well. All right, and when we do that, we're going to name one intro, one chorus, one verse, and one outro. And as we go along, now you can go to File and then click Save or Save As to save your project, or you could use the shortcut Command and S. All right, S as in small or S as in snake, Command and S. Okay, so we just did intro, chorus, verse, and outro. All right, good. So as mentioned, you could go up to File and click Save, or you could do Command and S to save. Yeah. Now, we like you all to be able to see this is the mixer window here. This is what it looks like. Now, as we have the tracks named and it creates a bit more uniformity, you could see them named in the mixer window as well. So once you complete this basic level, in the arrange area, you'll see it reflected in the mixer window. You'll also see it in the inspector window. If you look at the bottom and the left hand side of the screen, you'll see it there. And if you press X, we are able to pull up the shortcut to bring up the mixer window at the bottom of the arrange area, so that we could be looking at 2 windows simultaneously, or 3, because on the left hand side we still have the inspector window, and 4 you could say. On the right hand side, if we wish to, we could pull up the loop section or the note taking section, which we'll get to later on in the course. All right.